Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and you know what this is, Saving Derby County. If you didn't see the last one, make sure you go and check it out, card in the corner up there for you. We got promoted to the Premier League via the playoffs for the second time, and we've played through pre-season, we've done our transfer business, and could you have picked a bigger game for our first game back in the Premier League after we got relegated 2 seasons ago? The first game of the season, we play Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. Let's take a look at the transfer business. Let's see how we did in pre-season, and let's head into that first game. Right, here we are guys, let's take a quick look at the transfers. So just taking a look at the budget and things we had, I did mention it in the last video, but we got about 36 million. There's been some big ins and some big outs. We'll talk on the big out that came in before the official end of last season, or the 2 players that went out that did make quite a few appearances last season. Jamal Lewis, I know you will have heard me moaning a couple of times saying he's not performing very well, especially in those big games. And I can't afford to have a player that can't hack it. We made a bit of money. I believe we bought him for about 12 million, 12.25. We bought him from Everton, and we sold him on to Watford for 19.5. So from my perspective, I think we've done some good business there. Last season he did all right, but he seemed to be Mr. Inconsistent, especially towards that back end. Other player that's gone out was Jordan Williams. There is still room for improvement with him, but from our perspective, he wasn't going to get game time, and he wasn't good enough to break into the starting 11 as our sort of centre-back. We got him for 235,000 in our 3rd season with Derby when we just got promoted back to the Championship. We bought him for 235k, which I think was probably a bargain. And we've sold him on for 3.6 million to Burnley. So fair play to him, good luck to him, but he's not one that's going to be in our starting 11, and he's certainly not in my plans for the starting 11 moving forward. Big transfer that did come in was Dennis Popov from Leeds United. Played 19 million for him, I think. With add-ons it was up to 20 million. Got him from Leeds. He looks absolutely quality, and my focus in the transfer window as a main was making sure we strengthened that back line, because that was where our real weakness was. There's improvements elsewhere on the pitch as well. There's quite a few transfers to go through, but that was my main focus. And just look at this guy, 27. I mean, he's not going to improve much more than I think he is at the moment, but got him in a nice 4-year contract. His physicals are incredible. I mean, jumping reach, strength, that's what you need in a centre-back, and he's got a nice bit of height on him. He's not, a giant, but he's 6'1", it's tall enough. Mentals, aggressive, brave, a lot of determination. Technically, he's good with his head. He's good with tackling. I mean, what more could I ask for from a centre back? I mean, looking at the transfer information that we've got, valued at 28 to 33 million, we picked him up for 19. 19 with 20 million with add-ons. So I'm happy with that. I think we got a reasonable deal there. Then, just moving on to the transfers that have happened officially in this transfer window. We'll go over the outgoings. There's been a few. We've lost a couple of people on freeze, which I knew we were going to, that weren't going to renew. Hans Van Acken's gone to Besiktas, which is fine. I knew he wasn't going to renew. Load of lads out on loan, which is fine. Youth development stuff. A couple of youth players that weren't going to break into the first team and just didn't have potential to develop have gone out. And then Malik Wilkes has also gone to Brentford. He did okay for his last season. He was an option, but I don't think he was the guy that was really going to take us to that next level, and I really did feel like it was time for us to cash in. And again, we've made some money on him. We bought him for 6 million 2 years ago from Norwich, and we've sold him on for double what we paid for him. Last season, 40 appearances, 11 goals, 5 assists, over a 7 rating, fine, but he wasn't good enough to be starting, and I thought, why not cash in, use the money, improve the team elsewhere, because I know we've got a couple of decent strikers at least in the squad. So in terms of players we've bought in, this lad here from Wolves, Bosco Sutalo, I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Got him for 7 million. Centre back, but he can play all the way along the back line, and actually he's quite strong playing at those sort of wing back, full back positions. Physically, he's quite similar in terms of traits to Popov, albeit I don't think he's quite as good. Physically, he looks good. Mentally, he's good. Technically, he'll do the job. I think he's good as a number as the other guy that plays in that back line with Popov. Again, I mean, he's on a 4-year contract, so we've got him for a while. Got him for 7 million. I think we've done a decent deal with him. Wolves bought him for 9.75. Had him for a season. Didn't make an appearance for them actually, and then we bought him for 7, and he will be in the starting lineup. So next lad, I thought was a bit of a snipe actually. I was really pleased with this. Kenny Taylor from Ajax, got him on a free. Now he can pretty much play anywhere from defensive mid up. I mean, he's even tried at centre back. He's relatively well rounded. I think from my perspective, I think he gives me another option in the middle, and he's been bought to play in that sort of central mid, defensive mid role. He's on par in terms of ability with Jason Knight and Jamie Shackleton and those lads that we've got, and we picked him up on a free, and he's valued at 23 to 25 million. I mean, we're looking at stats and things. He made a few appearances for Ajax. It looks like on and off he's been with them for, I think between them and I'm assuming this Jong Ajax, I'm assuming is their youth team or under 23s or B team or whatever. 26 appearances for Ajax last season, 2 goals, 1 assist, over a 7 rating. So from my perspective, a very good guy to bring in on a free of all things. Now, lad we bought in from Fulham. Looks like a lot of money, 13.25 million, Carlos Palacios. But actually, he looks very, very good, and really I want to deploy him in that sort of inverted winger on the left-hand side. He can play on the right-hand side as well, but the left-hand side I think predominantly is where he's going to play. But we look at his ability, and especially sort of physically and mentally, he's very, very well-rounded. He's quick, agility at 16, a lot of determination, fair bit of flair. I think he... Certainly in pre-season, he's been really good for us, and we got him for what I would consider a reasonable fee at 13.25. It looks like Leicester bought him for 12.5 and sold him on to Fulham for 7 and a bit. Made a few appearances in the Premier League, nothing too major, but he's certainly in the starting 11 for us this season. Couple of other lads that have come in more recently, Jared Branthwaite from Everton, again strengthening up that back line. He is more of an option for development and certainly second choice as opposed to straight into the starting 11, but someone I think that we can work on according to our scouts and stuff. 2.5 star current ability with potential to move up to a 4-star rating, and I think he could do a job for us, so I'm happy with that. Youth player from Sheffield Wednesday we bought in, looks like there's masses of potential there. He's only 19 and he already looks pretty good, so fair play. Just want to bump that out. And then the most recent addition, which was 2 days ago, game time, Luis Enrique. So he's not played a game for us yet. Paid 4.5 million for him from Flamengo. Again, young lad, 20 years old, nice bit of room for improvement, and a backup option for us in that front line, sitting behind Hernandez and Mella as a second choice striker, so to speak. But certainly from a physical perspective, he's 6'3", and look at the physicals. I mean, 16 balance, 17 jumping reach, 16 strength, and room for improvement. We've got him on a 4-year deal. According to this valuation, he's valued at 24 to 27 million, and we bought him for 4.5, maybe rising to 5.5. So from my perspective, look, there's enough talking about the transfers. I think we've done some good business. Obviously, let me know what you think. Pop it, down in the comments, and see if you think I've spent well. If you think there's, other things we need to look at. I mean, we look at the starting 11, and this is, I think, what I'm certainly going to go with initially, and we'll see what happens. Palacios comes in on that inverted winger position on the left-hand side, as I say. Hernandez playing as that attacking forward, sole striker, with Mella playing on the right-hand side in his new sort of inverted winger role that seems to be working for him. Kenny Taylor, Jason Knight and Krause in the middle. Dylan Williams dropping back to play in that wing-back position on the left-hand side with Popov, Sutalu, the new full-backs playing in the middle there. Centre-back, playing in the middle there, and we've got Shackleton playing on the right-hand side in that full-back position with Fisher still in goal. Fisher and the goalkeeper was somewhere I wanted to improve. Maybe a defensive midfielder, but I think from my perspective as it stands, this is probably the best we can do with Branthwaite, Ponce, Louis Enrique, Soppy, Davenport, Bassett, Bennett and Can on the bench. Few younger lads in there who I think we can hopefully develop well this season. Then just briefly looking over the pre-season, just because I've talked way too much. First game out, I tried something different in terms of the formation. Clearly it didn't work. We lost 4-0. So, whatever. Went back to the original plan, which is the formation that I used in the playoff final. If you've not seen that video, make sure you do. I've popped the card up there. Won everything comfortably other than that first game at QPR, albeit against teams that are, you know, lower than we are in terms of ability significantly. 4-1, 3-2, 7-0, 2-0, 2-0. And then, like I said, that first game out is a massive game against Nottingham Forest. Not only is it our first game back in the Premier League, but the Brian Clough derby, the A52 derby, as our first game of the season. I mean, I'm just hoping, you know, apologies to all my, you know, Forest fan friends and obviously anyone that knows that I am a Forest fan. I'm hoping we can come away from that with the Brian Clough Cup, but let's see how we get on. So, like I say, here it is, Nottingham Forest, first game of the season. Looks like they're playing a 4-4-2. You'll notice that there is basically not one of the current Forest players left in that squad, whereas certainly for me, from that original sort of derby team that I had, we've still got Jason Knight, we've still got Dylan Williams. I think that's probably it, but you know, a couple of lads floating around on the bench or whatever. Now, this is a massive game, and it's obviously a difficult game for me, and I've tried to avoid putting the local derbies on because I'm a Forest fan. But what I would say is, please everybody bear in mind that Nottingham Forest finished 8th in the Premier League last season in this save. So they're not a side to take lightly, and certainly not a side that I'm expecting will comfortably win. They're a good side that managed to finish very, very well last year. That's a Knight that finds Mellor. He's lost the ball. Passing it around well, actually. They chip it forward. Deals with that. Kenny Taylor. Palacios. Back to Taylor. Hernandez chips it out to Mellor on the wing. Oh, go on. What a run. What a strike. What a goal. That run from him was outstanding. Beats their defender and then just places it. I mean, what was their goalkeeper doing? Absolutely fantastic play from Mellor there. We extended his loan. I don't know whether I actually mentioned it, but we've extended his loan, so we've got him at least for this season. Jason Knight with a free kick. The post. Knight's going to pick up that loose ball. Find Shackleton. Didn't do anything with it. Great start. Great start. Obviously a bit torn because I'm a Forest fan, but Sutalo, Shackleton, Knight. Long ball forward. Mellor's going to get to that first. Go on, son. Chips back to Knight. Finds Palacios. Nothing. Fair play. Playing excellently. I think I did say when we were running up to those last couple of games of the season, actually, that it really did feel like they were a much better side than they were when we came up previously. I mean, let's have a look at the analysis. I mean, no one's really overlapping each other. Everyone's in space. I'm pleased with it. Oh, you're going to get sent off, pal, on your debut. What a knob. What an absolute knob. Krause is going to have to drop back, and we are going to have to make a change. Looks like Soppy comes into the starting lineup. What an idiot. But they've got a throw in here. Goes all the way back to their keeper. Samba does still play for Forest in this, but he's on the bench. Some good passes. All the way back to the keeper again. We're containing them here, so I'm happy with that. Deal with that. Soppy, Williams, Palacios tries to find Kenny Taylor, can't find him. I wonder whether that's just a touch of, you know, him still trying to file. They're through. Great save. I think he's still trying to find his link in the team and you know, get comfortable, get some chemistry going. Oh, well dealt with. Well dealt with. If we can see this out with a man down, Kenny Taylor with a corner, Soppy will pick up that loose ball. He's already on a yellow. Just want to... I'm not sure. I haven't got get stuck in, so I'm going to have to change this to stay on feet. This is not good enough. Shackleton, Mellor. Long ball in. Kenny Taylor. Oh. It's a great start, though. Great start. We've built an amazing squad here. Kenny Taylor with a corner. Jason Knight finds Taylor again. Cleared it. Tell you what, even to hold on to this 1-0 lead and dominate in the way that we have, because we've still got the most of the possession, is excellent. I've not got a thing to complain about other than this stupid red card that Popov decided to get on his debut as my flipping main signing. Absolute idiot. Right, let's get into the second half. We're playing very well, and I just want to keep an eye on fitness levels seem to be good, but I'm concerned about the amount of bookings that we've had. Their goalkeeper gone with a goal kick. We deal with it. Palacios picks it up. Nice little run from him. Loses the ball. Heavy touch. Stringing a few passes together. Hopefully not getting any with long ball forward. Fisher tidies up. Dylan Williams. Kenny Taylor. Knight. Back to Taylor. Back to Knight. Chips the ball to Williams on the wing. He finds Palacios. Taylor. Mellor. Knight again. Finds Palacios. Go on. Oh, he's hit the post. He's hit the post. I tell you what. I can't believe they're playing so well when we're a man down. Right, it's Branthwaite making his debut, coming on at right wing back. Cresswell with a head goes wide. I think that's Cornet, who plays for Burnley, who's playing for Forest. Another corner for them. Well over. Oh, he didn't keep that in. Bad shot anyway. No one's really playing badly other than that flipping idiot who decided to get sent off on his debut. Williams, Kenny Taylor, cross in. Mellor. Yes! Come on. I tell you what, he's turning into an absolute... I mean, there's no wonder that he was on... Oh, no wonder. I mean, it's not hard to understand why he was on the Wonder Kids list. And actually, I'm surprised that I managed to keep hold of him for another season and get him on... get an extension on his loan, to be honest. Branthwaite to clear that up. Fisher lumps it forward. Hernandez, Palacios. Oh, megs him. Williams turns back to Taylor. Taylor finds Palacios. Trying to find a cross. Can't find one. Goes to Williams. Knight. Oh! Another corner for us here, though. Kenny Taylor. Can't find anyone. Soppy tidies up. Right, so we're going to make a change because Mellor is knackered. We're going to bring Louis Enrique, I'm sure is how you pronounce his name, on to replace him, just to give us some fresh legs on that right-hand side. A few passes at the back going on here. Suterlu, Branthwaite. Just 1-2. I mean, run the clock down. I'm not too fussed, but Fisher smashes it forward. Hernandez, Mellor. Go on. Oh. Come on. Oh. Just over and over again, those pair just pop up. Hernandez, Mellor, Hernandez, Mellor. Mellor takes a crack. Oh no, he doesn't. Goalkeeper clears it, or tries to. Hernandez pops his head onto it, scores a header from outside the box. Good lad. 3-0 against Forest. Look, for me personally, if it was real life, I wouldn't be happy. But in this, what a result. They finished 8th in the Premier League, and we've battered them with 10 men. With 10 men. The Brian Clough Trophy is coming home with us. Last highlight, I'm hoping. Palacios, who's been quality in this game, I must say. Williams, Taylor, Palacios. Enrique finds Palacios. 4-0. Oh, what a finish. Might be offside. In fact, I'm nearly certain it was offside. Yeah. Good finish from him. Even if it was disallowed, great finish. Good pass from him. I mean, great finish regardless. Look at that. It's not going to show you. Well, I mean, what more is there to ask for? First game of the season. It's a local derby. We beat them 3-0 with 10 men because our star signing of the transfer window gets 2 yellows and gets sent off. Considering we had 10 men, we ended up with 58% possession, 14 shots, 9 on target. We were the better team. By far. What a start. What a start to this Premier League season. And Michael Mellor back at it again. I mean, I don't know whether I've shown you guys his stats recently, but the way he's developing is insane. I mean, his physicals, acceleration, agility and balance, 16, 16, 18, off the ball 16, dribbling and first touch 16. And what we've got to remember is he's only 19 years old, currently valued at 76 to 114 million. I had to get a loan extension because there was no way I was going to be able to afford him. What an absolute incredible start to the season. I mean, we've got to have some outstretched arms because that was a fantastic win. Fantastic win. Was it good to beat our rivals today? Yes, it was. Substituting Michael Mellor when he was on a hat-trick, I told you it was going to raise some eyebrows. Well, whether he's pleased or not, he's an excellent player and I want to keep him fit. And if he's knackered, I don't want to risk an injury. So, what more could I ask for? First game out, 3 points, 3 goals, win the local derby, take the Brian Clough Cup home. I mean, what more could I ask for? Look at that. And again, I have to go back to it. Forest finished 8th in the Premier League last season, which means that they're up there on the cusp of fighting for a European spot. And we've just dominated them with 10 men for most of the game. I mean, I think this might be more interesting than the last Premier League season where we struggled the whole time. Here's to hoping. Keep your fingers crossed. You got any ideas on where I can improve? Although I'm not sure whether there is any improving from that game. Let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, just make sure you stick around because we might be about to really push on and have a successful season in the Premier League. What a start. I'll see you in the next one.